First off, I would like to thank you for all the thrills that you've given us, my mate and I, in the last couple of years.
Those thrills are your own inner being jumping up and down with exhilaration as you consciously acknowledge your own deep knowing. Indeed, we're appreciating your appreciation.
But I have one of those first-class stories. Well, we have one of those first-class stories. Recently, we had gone to Europe, and we were flying on the economy class. And my parents had gone prior to us, and we met them there. And they were telling us, my father was just elated that, hey, we got bumped up to first class. And he says, from now on, I'll never go any other way but first class. So we thought, well, gee, that would be really nice. So on the way back, we went to check in and to have our seats assigned. And the lady there asked us, what kind of seats would you like? The Sherry says, oh, one with a lot of leg room. So, okay, she assigned our seats. We didn't pay any attention to them. But when it was time to board a plane, as we were walking up on the ramp, I looked at the tickets, the seat cards, and it said first class. So we were right up on the first class without having had any knowledge as to what happened. So
you did not take action about it. What you did was, with the positive influence of someone else, you flowed energy toward what you wanted. You were inspired to the perfect words. This stuff could work.
Those fairies will do it every time.
Indeed.
But this morning, after I woke up, I was wondering that you answering our questions could maybe similar to the experience I've had with my son. When he was little, he would ask me questions like, how many light bulbs light up the moon? And, I thought, inside, of course, I knew that he was very sincere in asking the question. And he would ask, I was living in Florida at the time, and we were watching these huge turtles come onto the beach to lay their eggs. And he asked me, do their batteries ever run out? He thought, for him, again, this was a legitimate question.
Everything coming through his perception. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So I was
sort
wondering,
of like all of us.
I was wondering, is this the kind? Do you have the same kind of feeling with our questions as I had with him?
What we have come to know as teachers, and you have come to know as teacher, is that a teacher's effectiveness does not have to do with how much he knows. It has to do with his ability to understand where his student is. And then it is a gentle bridging of perspectives from where he stands to where you stand. Now, in reality, we are not trying to teach you anything that you do not already know. We're just wanting to remind you of that depth of knowing that is within you so that you can go beyond. What physical beings commonly think is that they are here physically focused in order to prove something to somebody. That you're here being tested or here proving your worthiness so that in your ineffectiveness or unworthiness that you can achieve some greater realm of effectiveness or worthiness. And it is not difficult to see how you have come to that conclusion because just as your son has pointed out, as you stand in your physical bodies and you perceive what is around you, you notice that as brilliant as your scientists are, you have not managed to launch another Earth into orbit. You can't even imagine scraping up enough mass to launch. You cannot alter the rising or the setting of the sun. The broader your point of view, the more you realize the extraordinary precision with which your planet rotates on its orbit in perfect proximity to the other planets in your universe. And so, as physical man looks around and recognizes, we can't do this, but somebody did, then his logical assumption is something greater, therefore better than we or me, has done that. And if it's greater and I'm lesser, then I'm probably here to prove worthiness to that. And if I'm here to prove worthiness to that, then I must find the rules or the requirements. In other words, I must discover what I'm supposed to do in order to be worthy, and then you know how the story goes from there. Everyone has a different idea of how you prove that worthiness, and you squabble and fight over it and kill one another over it for eons. So, the reason that you have come forth into these physical bodies is not to prove worthiness. You are physical beings who are extensions of that which is non-physical. You are not less than that which is non-physical. You are an extension of that which is non-physical. You are literally the leading edge of thought. You said, I will go forth into this physical time and place, chew on the data, experience the contrast, and from the contrast come to conclusions or decisions. And once those decisions are known, I will flow energy toward them for the purpose of going beyond that which has been before. And you said, as I don this physical focus, I know that that which is at the core of me, that stream of pure positive energy, for the non-physical dimension is only pure positive energy. It is lack-free. I know that that which is at the core of me will guide me. I will know by the way I feel when I have deviated from my source or from my path of pure positive energy. And so, what your story, what your experience with your magnificent son is about is he is pointing out to you his perspective from where he stands, all that he can conclude. And then from your broader perspective, you help him to see. And your inner being is ever there for you from broader perspective to help you see. More importantly, to help you feel your way along this. Good.
This kind of leads me to my real question. My son and I, we've really been growing up together. He's
pure positive energy, just like you are. You are the identical energy from non-physical perspective. Two different perspectives from same source. Interesting, isn't it? What would be the point of that? Why would you come forth at different times with different perspectives if you are the same non-physical energy? Because it is so delicious to have different perspectives. Because different perspectives play with one another and evoke greater insight.
Yeah, but I've already been in the Marines. Why does he want to go into the Marines now?
Because words don't teach. It is only life experience, you see. We've noticed that. You ask us again, it relates back to your son, do we have that? In other words, would we fill you full of our knowing if we could? You're already full of our knowing. Here to remember it and rediscover it through this format so that it means something to you. You could sit around all day, every day and listen to us babble on. We would do it. And many times you say, yes, yes, you feel yourself resonating with it, and that is thrilling to us, to see you resonate with your own knowing. But nothing is more thrilling to us than to hear you speak your knowing back to us, to hear you put it in the framework of what you are living and acknowledge the laws as you are coming to really know them through the framework of what you are living. And that is why any of you seek experience. You say, oh, I would like to save him all of this trouble. Let us tell you something that we've noticed about parents. Single-handedly, you are the strongest contributing factor to the disconnection of your children from their own inner beings. As you worry about them. As you want them to live happy lives, but you worry that they won't. As you want them to be safe and well, but you're afraid that they won't be. As you want them to thrive and prosper, but you say, you should have gotten that job a year ago. In other words, parents are very negative contributors in their very well-meaningness, you see. And so what you are wanting to say to your son is, there are a lot of things that I know because I've already done that you're going to find out because you're about to do that. Have fun with all of it. Say to him, you think fast on your feet. Trust that which comes forth from within you and have a grand time. And then release him to his joyous experience, knowing that just as when he was little, he's going to fall down and skin his knees. But every time he does that, he's going to say, I don't want to do that anymore. What is it I do want? I want to stand up and walk like the big people. I want to get so good at it that I can actually run. I want to ride the bicycles. I want to ride in the cars. I want to ride the spaceships to the moon. I want to, in other words, through what they see you doing, they identify what they want with their own inner beings ever present to remind them of what they really want. And what they really want, let us touch on that. What you really want, who you really are lovers. That is why anytime you're not loving, you feel so awful. Who you really are appreciators. That's why anytime you're blaming, you feel so awful. Who you really are seekers of freedom and growth and joy. That's why anytime you don't feel that you are free, you feel awful. Anytime that you feel that you're not moving forward fast enough, you feel awful, you see. Your guidance is always there to show you where you stand relative to what you want, and to sometimes, even through negative experiences, help you discover what it is that you do want.